All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorite shows, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Season 2. Right now it's on Netflix, but I think it might be moving to Paramount Plus in the future. But already kind of said it. I am a little biased. I do really enjoy the show. I've watched it probably far too many times, but justifiably so. It is very, very good writing, and it's a very good show. Let's go ahead and start off with the positives. So, and I should say, spoilers. But I highly recommend this show. So go watch this season, come back, watch the video, and then we can discuss and talk about it a little bit. So this season picks up right where season one left off, and the big question that I don't really feel like a lot of people realize they have, but kind of have, is Aang goes in and melds with the ocean spirit at the end of season one and just absolutely destroys the Fire Nation Navy. Well, why doesn't he just go into the Avatar state and run into the Fire Nation right now and take down the Fire Lord? Because clearly he has the power to do it. And that is the very first question they answer in season one, of why he can't just immediately go OP mode and destroy the Fire Lord. I think that this is a great way to build a stake in a power. A way of, yeah, this is great, but it's for defense, and if you die, there will be no more Avatar. It makes this all powerful form have a significant drawback. So I very much like the entirety of the Ba Sing Se arc. I think it's really interesting. I mean, it deals with what I would say is a pretty tropey topic, which is government corruption. That's just used all over the place, especially nowadays. But it's interesting because it sets up, the main villain up to this point has just been the Fire Nation, and it sets up another villain. I shouldn't say villain, antagonist, for the group, rather than just the Firebenders. Well, they're people who are supposed to be their allies, the Earth Kingdom, are now, they have to deal with this problem that they're walking into. And that's one thing this show does really great, is that it never lets them get away with walking in and everything goes according to plan. There's always some kind of problem that they have to overcome in order to make the plan successful. And usually it's a multitude of problems. Usually it's one problem leads to another problem, which they fix, leads to another problem, which they fix. And I think that the way they do it is very interesting, because each problem makes sense, and each obstacle adds that much more tension of, are they going to get to what they need to get to? I think that while probably, I don't want to say my least favorite, and it's not even close to my least favorite of this season. It's definitely not my favorite episode, but the mini episode, there's some good moments in it. There's some kind of ones I don't really care about that much. But it's a great use of what I would consider almost a filler episode. Because you get these nice little shorts of each character, but each little snippet gives intensive character moments, and it really develops each of these characters, gives them more depth in just a couple of minutes, and that's super cool that they did that. So Zuko's and this probably won't surprise many people, but Zuko's probably my favorite character in the entirety of the show, and I'm sure he is the favorite character of many other people. I like almost every single one of the characters. Actually, I think I like every single one of the characters. I don't think there's a character I dislike in this show. But the way that he fluctuates at the end of the season and into, even though we're not talking about into season 3, is extremely compelling and just shows like it really hammers home, instead of him turning sides at the end of this at the season where he switches and basically like kind of has a heart to heart with Katara and then ends up betraying them and choosing his family. It just really adds into the tension of his character and the realization that in a way, he kind of doesn't know what's right from wrong, and he's kind of torn between these two worlds. I just, man, there's just some good moments. I have this written down. One of, I would say, the funniest sequences in the entirety of the show, which is the cactus juice sequence with Sokka in the desert. I like every time I watch that, I laugh. I just think it's great, and I love I just love those moments because it's a super tense, couple episodes, because Aang is kind of like dark in that moment. I mean, this is something I caught this time, which I think I've caught it before, but like I really paid attention to this time around. Aang is a pacifist and does not kill anything, and he says so in the series. He kills one of these buzzard wasps in the desert in these couple episodes when he loses Appa, because it tries to take Momo, and he gets Momo free, and instead of letting it go, he just cuts it down. And now, it's a kid's show, so it's not like, it's not, really seen, but you see it sliced in half with an air slice as it falls to the ground. And like, that is really interesting because that's something that is so out of character for him. And it just shows how hard losing Appa is for Aang. But pair that with the cactus juice, it's a great combo because it relieves that comic relief, kind of relieves that seriousness from the kids show just enough where it's like, okay, I'm laughing now. Oh no, I'm not laughing anymore. Super great. So I would say my only critique for this season, and this kind of comes from a little bit with the first season as well. The first, like, the episodes very much in this season do a much better job of stringing together. They're not just like random events that happen that like the first season is. They're much more of like a consistent story. The first few episodes, I would say, are a little slower in the in the season. Like, up until they meet Toph, I would say it's kind of slow, and a bit more of that episodic style. But they do a good job of world building with those episodes, so they serve a purpose. But they're also episodes I tend to skip on rewatch throughs. I don't necessarily watch. I did watch all the episodes this time around, but I tend to move past some of those episodes. Do I recommend this series? I just wrote down duh. Didn't put any other things in my notes. Yes, I think that the entirety of this show has a lot to teach, especially about character. I would say character more than anything. Like this show does amazing things with characters and amazing things with setup. Like they knew, at least it seems like they knew from the beginning what story they were trying to tell, and it very much makes a difference because you get these long-term setups and payoffs as we progress into the series, each little bit. And that's not the easiest thing to do. So I would definitely say watch this, check it out, especially if you're interested in writing. I've used this show as a way to do character analysis, doing one watch through, focusing on one character, seeing how their arc progress, like specifically looking for their moments, what makes them good, why their character progresses the way they do. And I've done that with almost every single one of the main characters. It's great. It's great. I can't recommend it enough. It's definitely one of my favorite shows. So again, might be a little biased, but I try to be as critical and as fair as possible, rather than just saying, "Oh wow, I really like this." I try to like still dig into a few points that I'm like, yeah, maybe not. These parts are still, could potentially use some work. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. So, if you have anything else to add, say, want to discuss, disagree, agree with me, go ahead and post it down in the comments below. Super interested. Love to hear what everyone thinks about, different stories and how different people, how this is, affected or not affected different people. Be sure to like and subscribe if you do like the video. It definitely helps out the channel a lot, and I super appreciate it. So that's going to be it. So thank you for watching.